When Mayor Bass took office, she promised a sea change in how the city tackles homelessness. Since then, a federal judge has characterized the city's efforts as a train wreck. That's not the change we expected. A quick recap for those who haven't been keeping track. A recent RAND report suggests the city's homeless figures may have failed to count a significant portion of the unsheltered population. Prior to Mayor Bass taking office, RAND's numbers were consistent with the city's figures from its annual point-in-time count. Since then, RAND analysis suggests the city has undercounted the homeless population by 24% last year and 32% this year. The most current RAND report says about 8,000 more people may be unaccounted for in the city figures. Last week, I stopped by 5 properties the city spent more than $100 million on over the past 4 years to house people experiencing homelessness. Nobody has spent a night in any of them. Mayor Bass has spent $322 million on her signature program, Inside Safe, which is intended to provide interim housing and services to people experiencing homelessness. It's claimed about 5,000 people have been served by this program. Of those, about 1,200 are said to be in permanent housing and 2,000 returned to homelessness. According to those figures, Inside Safe costs more than $250,000 for every person placed in housing, which does not include the cost of any long-term housing or services. Meanwhile, Mayor Bass has spent more than $6 million of taxpayer money fighting attempts by a federal judge and LA's elected controller to find out where all the money has gone. Mayor Bass arranged for this building to be purchased with city funds by the nonprofit Weingart Center. The deal raises lots of questions. The guy selling the building didn't actually own it. He made a deal behind the scenes to buy it for $11 million and flip it to the city a few weeks later for $27 million, pocketing a cool $16 million. This building, it's still empty. The U.S. Attorney recently indicted the developer of the property, alleging fraud and misuse of taxpayer monies. The CEO of Weingart has been placed on leave, pending an investigation into his role in the transaction. LAHSA, or Los Angeles Homeless Service Agency, is the part of city government principally responsible for addressing homelessness. Said simply, the operations of the agency are a mess. Whistleblowers claim LA's top homelessness official hired unqualified friends and tried to destroy public records. That head of LAHSA was appointed by Mayor Bass. According to LAHSA officials themselves, the mobile app they use to count the homeless population has issues which caused increased doubts about the reliability of its data. A review of LAHSA by the county auditor found funds were used inappropriately along with multiple record-keeping deficiencies, among other issues.
Auditors say the paper trail provided by the agency was so poor it made tracking the money spent nearly impossible.
After more than 30 years of the city and county working together on these issues, the LA County Board of Supervisors recently chose to pull out from LAHSA, with a county official saying, "We can't accept this dysfunction any longer." Mayor Bass took on special powers when she declared a homeless emergency on her first day in office 3 years ago. An important part of these powers is the ability of the mayor to enter into sole source contracts, which means they don't undergo the normal review process by city council. The mayor announced the end of the homeless emergency in November. There's been no public review of the contracts agreed to during the emergency. LAHSA has provided more than $100 million of funds to Weingart Center for shelter, housing, and wraparound services. Much of this was through no-bid contracts, relying on the mayor's emergency powers. A year ago, Mayor Bass appointed Kevin Murray, the CEO of Weingart, to the board that oversees spending for Measure A, which is a voter-approved tax increase to fund city and county homelessness efforts. Weingart, however, has not complied with federal audit standards for the past 3 years. The Murray appointment was made by Mayor Bass despite the fact Weingart was not in compliance with these federal audit standards. And despite all of this, Murray's compensation has almost doubled over the past decade to more than $400,000. Is your head spinning yet? It should be. These many allegations raise questions about the potential misuse of taxpayer money and cast serious doubt as to whether the city is making any progress addressing the issue of homelessness, despite spending billions of dollars. While these concerns may one day be the subject of further investigations by city, state, and federal authorities, we can't do nothing until that happens. Mayor Bass has to act now to restore public trust. A good place to start would be an old-fashioned press conference, where reporters could ask the mayor questions about the city's efforts to address the homelessness crisis. To get the ball rolling, here are a few questions I hope the mayor will answer. How do you explain the difference in homeless count in the RAND report compared with the city's own figures? When will you allow the city controller to conduct a full audit of the spending on Inside Safe? We provide complete information showing where the money has been spent and what the impact is. What role did you or your office play in the Weingart-Shelby transaction? How can they justify spending $27 million for a property which seemingly could have been purchased for $11 million? Will you provide a complete picture of where all the city funds, including those from Measure A, have gone and what impact they're having? Do you think the city should be providing funds to entities that aren't in compliance with federal audit standards? What role did Kevin Murray play in spending decisions on homelessness? Do you see any conflict in his role overseeing disbursement of funds while also heading an entity that receives them? The public has every right to know what's being done to address this crisis. Please join our campaign to get LA back on track.